here.
All right.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
It's Sunday, September 8th, and the Yankees were going for the 3-game sweep over the Chicago Cubs behind Gerrit Cole, who was taking them out on his 34th birthday. My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Welcome to the New York City.
Pinstripe Territory.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Yikes. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Another wasted opportunity from the Yankees in Game 3 of the series versus the Cubs. They lose 2-1, and that was a snooze fest, TK. That was an absolute snooze fest. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. That sucked.
Yeah.
Nothing to say. That sucked. I had to collect myself there.
Gleyber Torres pretty much killed the game in the first inning. It was over in the first inning because he used his face to knock down a routine ground ball to second base. Interesting strategy, led to a couple of runs, scoring unearned runs. So Gerrit Cole not charged with any earned runs there. And the Orioles lost to the Rays today. So they gave the Yankees an easy path to pick up a game in the East, and yet another missed opportunity. Ugly at bat from Anthony Volpe in the ninth. We'll talk about that when we get to the state of the Yankees. But any thoughts on this game, man?
Yeah, that was just, first of all, a boring baseball game. Was it collectively 9 hits? We had 6. They had 3. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just a boring game. If you're a fan of pitching and defense, I guess it was cool. I know that Tyone and Cole are buddies, so they were going at it on his birthday. And it's always former Yankees, Evaldi, Sonny Gray, Jameson Tyone. They just kill us every time. It sucks. And yeah, dude, when Gleyber made that error, I was like, game, right there. It just took the wind out of the sails so much, because if he doesn't make that error, we win 1-0, literally.
Yeah. Gerrit Cole actually threw the ball pretty well, I thought, today. He was back on the mound after 6 fantastic innings last time out, and he had to leave that game with cramping. No sign of that today. The curveball was really sharp. The velocity was strong. He was sitting 96, 97, touched 98 on his 99th pitch of the day to strike out Mike Tauchman looking. I like that he got pumped up right there, kind of, jawing coming off the mound. No earned runs, so the ERA down to 3.36. So he said he feels like his normal self, and he's pitching like it. I want to see a Gerrit Cole versus Corbin Burnes matchup in that series against the Orioles there down the stretch. Any thoughts on Cole today?
Yeah, I thought he looked pretty good. Obviously, he was the first inning kind of got away from him, but I mean, as a Gleyber with that error, that just kills you as a pitcher. It made him throw another 10 pitches, so that burns another inning for Cole that he can't pitch. But he settled in really nicely after that, started mowing guys down. His stuff looked good, looked sharp, command was there. I thought the umpire was squeezing him a little bit in the first inning. There was one pitch, 3-2, and it was on the corner, and he walked him to load the bases. I thought that was strike 3, but it could have gone either way. But yeah, it's good to see him dotting up like that. We're going to need him in the postseason, so we need him to be Cole. And the last few starts, he looks good. It's good that the calf was not a big deal. Seems like he's healthy. Just hopefully he can keep riding this momentum into the rest of the season and into the postseason.
So let's get to the main event here. We were talking before the podcast began about how it's going to be tough to make an exciting recap out of this game. So I figured we would just spend 10 minutes or so and talk about the state of the team. We got a couple of super chats here, both about Anthony Volpe. With this one from Jasmine Drury, who says that Anthony Volpe is not good. And then JP Yankees fan says Volpe is not a good hitter, period. He actually says he's not a goods hitter, period. Look, I think Anthony Volpe's a fantastic shortstop. He's obviously a good base runner. But I'm not going to argue with anybody who says that he's not a good hitter, because he's not. I mean, he's hitting, what's he hitting now? 252 with a 680 OPS. No power whatsoever over the last month or so. And striking out way too often. And that at bat to end the game, he was swinging at pitches way out of the strike zone, trying to bail and wail on sliders low and away. And that's a recipe for a disaster. So I beg the question, is Anthony Volpe kind of a disappointment?
I think you got to say he is a little bit. He was our number one prospect, the guy that was absolutely untouchable, and we'll get to Jason later because it's the same situation right now. But absolutely untouchable. We didn't want to trade him for Castillo, Luis Castillo, who ended up going to the Mariners. They gave up Noel V. Marte, which was like their number one prospect at the time, and we didn't sign Corey Seager, who I think would have been a good fit. Trey Turner was another name that was in all this this historic free agency class. Correa, I never wanted him. I thought even aside from the Astro stuff, the injuries were a problem for me. But there were a lot of opportunities to sign a professional all-star shortstop for the New York Yankees, and all it was going to cost was money. And I understand money is a factor, but you can't say that he isn't a little bit of a disappointment right now. He's been great defensively. Won a Gold Glove. I'm going to give him his flowers there, but his bat is just not there. He's got great speed. I don't really care about his power numbers. It's just, can you hit 280? 280 would be nice. And then I was pulling up Bobby Witt Jr.'s stats here because I just wanted to make a point. Bobby Witt Jr., I think he was a rookie last year. This is a guy
two
where
years
I think
ago.
2 years
Right.
ago. So he's hitting 336 on the season, and he has 28 stolen bases with 30 home runs. He's got an 8.9 WAR. Guy is just an absolute superstar, and he plays a good shortstop as well. My point is, guys who are going to be phenom players are just phenom players. They come up and they light it up. Juan Soto did that. Bobby Witt's doing it right now. Jason Dominguez did it last year when he came up. I think he can continue to do it. Guys sometimes take a little bit longer. I think Austin Wells, he's now coming around. He was a little unlucky at the beginning of the season, but now starting to kind of come together for him. But I feel like in all sports too, look at football. CJ Stroud lights it up his rookie year. Like, if a guy is going to be a phenom player, most of the time he just is. As soon as he steps on the floor, as steps on the diamond, whatever it is. So Volpe, I'm holding on to this hope that he can continue to develop as an offensive player. His defense is fine, but I can't help but feel a little bit disappointed considering what we could have gotten for him in a package, in a trade, Luis Castillo, or what we could have done in free agency at his position as well.
Corey Seager, maybe,
Trey Turner.
Yeah, I have to admit, I was very patient with Volpe. I've been patient with Volpe all season long. In May, I loved what he was giving us. He, got on base 30 games in a row or whatever it was, 34 games. And I thought, something has finally clicked. And then it's like he just hit a wall and he stopped producing. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if the Yankees are tinkering with his swing, if he's tinkering with his swing on his own. But something needs to be fixed here because he just does not look good. The offense in general has not been good for the last couple of weeks. Aaron Judge hasn't homered in 12 games. Juan Soto has one home run in his last 12 games. And nobody else is hitting the ball out of the ballpark or hitting the ball very much either. Stanton has come close a few times. Yesterday he hit one that died on the warning track. Today he hit one that Crow Armstrong lost in the sun and it dropped on the warning track. He got robbed of that home run in Texas. All of a sudden, Giancarlo Stanton has warning track power? Are we using dead baseballs again? What is happening here? But I'm just not feeling great. I'm not feeling confident about the Yankees' offense. Even though they're in first place, they're just clinging by a half game right now, and they just don't take advantage of opportunities, whether it's, the smaller opportunities in a game where you got runners on base, or the bigger opportunities where you got a chance to win a game and climb in the standings. They're just not a team that goes out and takes it, right? They don't have that dog in them that we were talking about earlier this year. That dog got euthanized around June. We are doing absolutely nothing to help our cause when the Orioles lose.
Yeah, it's so disappointing. I was telling Derek in the green room, my manager at work's a big O's fan. So him and I literally every day at work, we're like, half game back, half game up. And we're literally doing that to each other constantly because it just keeps on flip-flopping back and forth. It's like nobody wants to win this division. It's insane. I don't think I've ever seen this. I don't think I've seen baseball be this bad as a league since I was like a kid. I was like 10 years old, I think. I don't think any team this year is going to win 100 games.
No.
I think the division winner is probably going to win 94, 95 games this year, which isn't that much considering. It's just frustrating because for a number of reasons, a multitude of reasons. A game like today, Clay Holmes being the closer, I mean, literally, if you just played solid and just played pretty well, you could be like 5 games up on the Orioles right now in the division and have yourself a little bit of a cushion heading into the series in the Bronx. And instead, you're going to be sweating it, and I'm sure they're going to be a half game within each other. Derek and I have talked about this at length. I'm convinced when that series comes up in the Bronx, they're going to be at least probably around a half game, 1 game within each other. Like, that series will determine who wins the division. Definitely.
Yeah, we had a couple of comments here. CM says that Volpe should be a second baseman. I'm going to go ahead and disagree on that. I think he's a great short. I mean, he won the Gold Glove at shortstop last year. It's his offense. He just can't hit the breaking ball. He swings and bails on every slider away, and every front office, every scouting department in the league knows that. He can't lay off of it, and he can't hit it. We've got some issues on defense, obviously. Gleyber Torres at second base is an absolutely atrocious second baseman. 17 errors this year. I'll be glad when we don't have to watch that anymore. There's no way they're bringing him back. My question is, who does play second base next year? Do you slide Chisholm back over to second? Do you call up a kid? Is it like Vivas? Is it, Peraza maybe? Or do you go out and get somebody? That's an interesting thought experiment. But I'm getting tired of these errors, man.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. Look, he has come around offensively. I think he's hitting almost 300 in his last month. Great for Gleyber. But yeah, I would be shocked if they brought him back as a free agent this offseason. I don't think he'll be back. And I'm leaning towards they'll just move Jazz to second. That's his natural position. It's the position he came up playing in Miami. But there's a multitude of options. You could maybe do a Peraza there. You could do a Vivas if you want to go that direction. I don't really feel that they necessarily need to bring in a guy through trade or free agency to play second. I think they have a few choices. But again, if you bring Jazz over to second, then third is a problem because who's going to play third? I guess they've had Peraza play third, but they're going to have to figure it out in spring training. I don't think that they're going to bring somebody in through trade or free agency to play second or third for that matter. They'll just kind of shuffle it around.
What'd you make of Nestor Cortez's comments? Because Cortez was like, I was ticked off to go to the bullpen. I'm the workhorse and yada, yada, yada. Look, personally, I like that he was willing to go to the bullpen and pitch out of the pen. I don't know if he has a choice. He could have said, no, I won't do it. I'm a starter. But I don't like, as the team is trying to make the playoffs and you're fighting for a division, I just don't like that kind of lip. You know what I mean? I don't like that. Put your head down, say, I'll do whatever it takes to win, whatever the team asks me to do. You know what I mean? It came across very selfish to me.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. Next year is his final year of arbitration, then he's a free agent. So he's got 1 more year left with us. I don't really think – it's funny. At first, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, why would you say that? Why are you trying to cause, waves? But then I was like, maybe this – current Yankee culture has really softened me up. I kind of like that he had the fire and was like, no, I want to pitch. I want to be a starter. And Boone even made a comment about that. He wants them all basically foaming at the mouth to be in the starting rotation. I'm kind of down for that. But I think Nestor, just the kind of player that he is, the kind of pitcher he is, the stuff he has, he profiles really well as a long reliever. I think he'd be really effective in that role just because he's got that funky sort of stuff and he changes up his mechanics and the arm slots and stuff. And I just think that as a hitter, if you've seen the pitcher like Schmidt, who goes through the lineup twice, he's lights out. And then you bring in Nestor, who's a lefty. So automatically you're switching arms now. And Nestor's doing all these janky leg kicks and stuff. I think it just kind of messes up your timing. And I think that would probably be a pretty effective playoff tandem if you wanted to do Schmidt starts, Nestor comes in and do 2 pitches that way. I like that.
Let me ask you about Judge. Judge now 12 games without a home run. Where's the power? Even in April when he was struggling, he was running into one now and then. Yeah. They need him to hit home runs. I mean, I feel like this is kind of a dumb thing to say, but when Judge doesn't hit home runs, they don't seem to win. He needs to be that power guy.
I think that's what they've been, though. When Judge went down last year, they were a different team. This team goes when Judge goes. He's the captain. He's the leader. He's the best player, face of the franchise. They will only go as far as he does. If he lights it up, they play well. They just kind of feed off his energy. And, I think he's just kind of – even Judge goes through slumps. That's baseball. The game will humble you. I'm not super concerned about it. He does a long stretch without a home run. I hear what you're saying about the lack of power is maybe a little concerning, but I think that maybe they're trying to pitch way more carefully to him. And also, since the whole lineup's kind of slowed down, they're not really throwing him anything good to hit. And I think Judge, if anything, gets one pitch per at bat that he can really crush, right? And he's missing that pitch right now, and that's all the difference is.
He's also worn out, I think. I mean, we weren't counting on him playing the entire season in center field, and he's done that. And he's played a pretty good center field, but I think he's tired. I think Juan Soto is tired. These guys have carried the Yankees on their back all season. Now it's time for somebody to step up. And unfortunately, nobody is. We can't hit with runners in scoring position. That's a problem every single year. It's been a problem this year, and it's getting worse. Like it seems like they get under so much pressure. I don't know. That's something that the hitting coach needs to sort out. It's just it's frustrating to watch. I was told before the podcast that you have a little bit of a rant that you would like to include. And Frankie, include this in the clip. We're going to clip this out so Terrence gets his moment. But I'm interested to hear this.
Yeah, I was telling Derek, I haven't been on the show since the whole Jason not being in September call-up. So I have some thoughts about that I want to get off my chest. First of all, we are not the New York Yankees anymore. Plain and simple. And that sucks. I have somewhat defended the organization overall in the past during my life, before I've been on this show, while I've been on this show. And we need to understand that I think the game, the league, the way it's structured now, is a lot harder to win than what it was like in the 90s during the dynasty years and even before then. It's just simply harder to win. And I don't feel like Hal is the money, is the problem. He spends the money. He's always in the top part of the payroll. But the complaint has to be, and by the way, Boone to me is a puppet. I'm not even going to have him in this rant right here. I don't really see how he makes a difference. He just doesn't. The main source of the problem, it has to be Brian Cashman in the front office. And yes, I realize that he's respected in the game and that plenty of people have said if they fired him that he'd have a job in 5 minutes. That's great. Cool.
Good for him.
Go be the GM of the Cleveland Guardians. I don't care. I just feel like sometimes, and this can go for any company, not even in sports, sometimes you just need a new voice in the room, a new direction, fresh ideas. It's not uncommon to say that. You literally have maybe like $100 million in dead money right now on this team. That's way too much. Now, what's caused me to feel this way is that basically when you look at your fan base in the face and you tell them that you think that Alex Verdugo is a better player right now than Jason Dominguez is, off of what you've seen last year when he came up in the big leagues, what you've seen from Verdugo this year and what his career has been, what every rival executive is saying about Jason right now and that he's ready to go, I'm sorry, you're spitting in our face. And you can't say that the Yankee fan base as a whole doesn't get it, because the Yankee fan base, I think as a whole, is a pretty smart baseball fan base. We know the game. We know when we're being lied to. And right now we're just being straight up lied to. Now, I don't know why they feel this way. I don't know what numbers they're looking at. I don't know if Alex Verdugo has some incriminating pictures of Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman, and he's blackmailing them. I've got no idea what's going on. But you can't tell me that you value Alex Verdugo's defense so much that you can't have Jason come up in the team right now. And you said it yourself, Derek, Juan Soto and Aaron Judge are clearly kind of run down right now. They've carried this team the whole season. They need a spark. They need the young spark. That's Absolutely. What he is. And they haven't brought him up. It's so silly to me. Just put him in left. You can bench Verdugo. You can DFA him. But this is a player. And at the time when they made the trade, I was cool with it. I was like, okay, like it's a low risk, high reward move. I didn't really feel like they gave up that much. He's going to be a free agent at the end of this season. It's not that big of a deal. You can cut him at this point. You can bench him. It doesn't matter. He's been with your organization 1 year. You've had Jason Dominguez since he was 16 years old. You got to let him play, man. You got to give him the leash. He's got to get the at-bats at the major league level. This guy, you can see the talent. It's just oozing off of this kid. He's got the swag for it. He was lighting it up. And if he struggles, I don't care. I don't care if he struggles out of the gate. He needs the at-bats. He needs the reps because this guy is going to be a legit superstar. And my final point of this rant here is you need cheap, young assets to perform well if you want to bring back Juan Soto, because you got to massage the payroll. You have to have a cheap asset to be a great player. So what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I'll end it with that, Derek.
Yeah, I agree with every word out of your mouth. I mean, we can see what kind of player Dominguez is. We see the highlights. We saw him last year do it in the major leagues. And I just pulled up a stat. Verdugo, over his last 81 games, that's half a season, is hitting .222 with 3 home runs and 39 runs scored. Just not major league quality hitter this year. And he is, I believe, 2 groundouts to the right side away from setting the American League record for groundouts to either first base or second base in a season. Absolutely ridiculous. Quick word from Vuori, and then we will be back with the recap and some final thoughts. I'm sure we'll rant just a little bit more.
Hey FT fam, it's Alana Rizzo. I can't stop talking about Vuori. Vuori is perfect if you are sick and tired of traditional old workout gear. I wear Vuori in all settings, not just in the gym, because honestly, it's comfier than whatever you're currently wearing. No joke. I'm wearing Vuori daily leggings right now. They're high-waisted with the drawstring and cupped ankles. They look good and they feel great. You're gonna love them. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/foul. That's VUORI.com/foul. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/foul and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
That music is supposed to hype us up for the recap, but there's really not much to get going about today. I mean, bottom of the first inning, another beauty of a defensive play from Gleyber Torres. Used his face to knock down a routine ground ball, error number 17 on the season. Cubs took a 2-0 lead on a bloop single by Paredes. Innings should have been over before that, so neither of the runners that scored was an earned run against Garrett Cole. Yankees got on the board in the second. Beautiful double down the right field line from Jazz Chisholm. You were right on the money about Jazz Chisholm, man. He ended up being a perfect fit, so I got to give you the kudos on that. You called that in May. And not only did you say they were going to get him, you said he would be the perfect fit because of his energy, his attitude. You're the first person I heard compare him to Didi Gregorius. So you absolutely nailed it, because I see the same thing and I say the same thing now almost on a daily basis. After that, the game was basically a snooze fest for a while. Neither team was hitting. A lot of ground outs, some pop outs. Giancarlo Stanton hit a fly ball to straightaway center that got lost in the sun. He ended up on second base but got stranded. Austin Wells took one the opposite way that got caught at the wall by Ian Happ. Good 8th inning for Clay Holmes, but the Yankees fall 2-1 and get... They had a chance to sweep, and once again they kind of take the final game off. So, God, 6 hits, and they only gave up 3 hits.
You ain't first.
Yeah,
You're
I told
last.
you about that too. I almost kind of cheated because I lived in Miami and I was watching him play a lot. But yeah, I remember seeing him and it was just a vibe. It was a feeling. Hey, Derek, look. I interviewed for a front office position in the Yankees organization for a reason. I didn't get the job, and this is why we're here now, right? They don't have the great minds in the front office, but I did. I just saw something, and I think another one too. I think this was the trade deadline. We got Joey Gallo. We got Joey Gallo, and Ian Happ was on the block. That was a guy that I wanted to and left at the time. I think he would have been a pretty good fit too. He's a pretty good player. He had an amazing diving catch. He robbed Volpe of a run there. Actually, it was like the Volpe duked it out to left. He made a great play, and that saved them a run there. So, but yeah, Jazz looked really good. I've been super happy with what he's in. I love his versatility. I guess he could play outfield if you really wanted him to, but I'm leaning towards they put him at second, and they'll figure out third. I think that's what will end up happening.
Yeah, I can see Peraza getting a chance at third base. That'll be interesting next year. Let's take some final comments and get to the final thoughts here. Info says he thought it was Joe from the shift in that window with me with the bald head. Yeah. I'm on, month number 3 with the bald head now?
I love it.
I feel like it suits me. And it feels good. It feels cooler in the summertime. I'm interested to see how it'll be during the wintertime. But we're sticking with it.
Real question. What's our winning percentage since you shaved it? What's our record?
It's not good. We're about 500, I think. Not good. It's not good. But I don't think my head has any impact on the Yankees play. D's channel says, I don't understand how people say they would rather see Dugo than Jason because Jason only played 10 games last season. Verdugo is 15 for 75. Verdugo is just washed, man. I mean, he's a ground ball machine. I think that Boston kind of made him look better than he is because a lot of those flyouts that he hits that get caught at Yankee Stadium in medium left field are doubles in Boston. Right? They hit the monster. He's the prototypical Boston lefty who learned to take the pitch, deep in the zone and shoot it off the left field monster. But I just don't think he's that good a player. Got a decent arm. No way he'll be back. So this is something I do every year, and I'm interested to talk it out with you here as we round this out. I have a list of Yankees that will not be back next year. So let's see if we can figure out who won't be back next season. So Gleyber Torres, no way. No way he'll be back. No, Anthony Rizzo. You think Rizzo will be back?
No,
got an option. So. Yeah, so Rizzo's gone. Torres.
Well, I got the Fangraphs payroll right now, so Rizzo's got an option for $17 million for next year.
Is it a player option or a team option?
It looks like it's a club option. So
no way. I'm not paying him $17 million.
I don't think so. Another free agent, Tommy Kahnle will be a free agent. Luke Weaver has a $2.5 million club option.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. Lou Trevino, $5 million club auction. No way am I picking up $5 million for Lou Trevino. Tim Hill will be a free agent. Juan Soto, obviously the big one. Gleyber will be a free agent. Verdugo will be a free agent. Clay Holmes will be a free agent. Johnny Loizaga, Lasagna, will be a free agent. I feel bad for him, man.
Yeah, Loizaga won't be back. I don't think Verdugo's coming back. No. Soto's an interesting one. Soto's going to be, my cliffhanger. Will we get Juan Soto back? I think he's coming back. I think he's coming back right now.
Clay Holmes.
No way. They're not going to pay. They don't pay for relievers, man. They don't. They like to get bargains out of their relief because relievers are so volatile and they have such a short lifespan generally. Not lifespan, but like career span. What's that?
$6 million right now. He's getting paid right now. So I don't know what he's going to command on the open market, but if you're bringing him back, it's not as the closer.
He's going to want $10 million, and there's no way. There's no way.
But yeah, Juan Soto. Honestly, out of all the free agents we're about to have, Juan Soto is a priority, and frankly, the only free agent that I'm looking at that I really like to retain. Yeah. That's it. So
I mean, I see a lot of people saying Soto won't come back. You don't know that, and I don't know that he is. We just got to wait and see. But if he wants to come back, he'll be back. The question is, does he want to come back or does he want the top dollar? Because I don't know if the Yankees are going to offer him top dollar. I think the Mets, the resurgent Mets, by the way, who are playing very well, will want him back. We'll see.
I have a feeling. This is my feeling on it. I think that the Mets, Steve Cohen, will just not be outspent for this. I think the only way the Yankees get Soto back is if Soto has a number in his head where it breaks the record for the contract and he gets the Yankees to that number by using the Mets. Kind of dirty of him to do that, but he uses the Mets to get to that number and he goes, okay, I'll go back to the Yankees because he loves his experience there. Or he goes to the Mets. But the dark horse team, I got two for you. I actually got three for you. I got the San Francisco Giants because they're desperate.
Won't happen.
I got the Chicago Cubs.
Nope.
And I got the Texas Rangers.
Nope. And I'll tell you why for all three. Giants, he's a West Coast or he's an East Coast guy, so he wants to be on the East Coast. He's not going to go out west. Cubs, not going to spend to get him, and neither are the Rangers because the Ricketts family, they don't spend like that, and the Rangers still are dealing with that local TV money thing, so they're kind of in financial difficulty. So really, it's going to come down to Yankees and Mets. It's going to be like the first ever bidding war that I can remember for the top free agent between the Yankees and the Mets, and I'm here for it. Should be a lot of fun. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up, TK?
I just said, what about Houston, actually? That would be pretty gross.
Oh, God. I don't want to even think about that, man. Although that would make sense, chance to win. They spend. They're in it every year.
No state income tax in Texas either. That makes a difference for guys, too. You're got more money in your pocket. That's funny. They got to come up with something. I think the NFL deals with this where, I feel like Florida and Texas, teams in those states have a bigger advantage than a team in, New York or California just because of that.
Is Kyle Tucker a free agent after this year? me just find out.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah. I'm going to look up his numbers here. It says he is a signed through 2024. No, he's not a free agent until 2026. So,
but Corbin Burns is a big name that will be a free agent. Max Fried as well. Blake Snell probably opts out. A guy I've loved for a while since the World Baseball Classic, the Japanese pitcher Roki Sasaki, but he's probably going to the Dodgers.
Yep.
But I would love Roki Sasaki. That guy's got filthy stuff. I don't know what he'll command. Looking at what Yamamoto got, probably a considerable amount of money, but dude throws like 102 and like a 92-mile-an-hour splitter. So has Tommy John written all over him, but he's got filthy stuff.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Yankees drop a tough one. We'll be back tomorrow with the voicemail show. Call in 718-899-1068. My thanks to you, TK, and we will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and give us a subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. We're also on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media. Join the community, have some fun. We're here after every game. This is Pinstripe Territory.